week, we were keeping a close eye on Ida. It is now the deadliest tropical system to hit the U.S. in the last 4 years, killing more than 60 people across 8 states.
Now in Louisiana, the number of power poles damaged or destroyed by Ida is more than Katrina, Zeta, and Delta combined. Officials say restoring power could take weeks. Here's ABC's Alex Brachet with the details.
Cleanup efforts continue in Louisiana nearly 1 week after Ida came ashore as a Category 4 hurricane. Many waiting in long lines for food, water, and fuel.
We need to be rescued right now. We need ice. We're barely surviving through this heat.
Some areas could be without power through the end of September. Loretta Duet was one of 800 nursing home residents evacuated to a large warehouse ahead of the storm.
It was terrible. The mattress is on the ground. It was horrible. The sharp yelling came. That was our story.
This image shows the crowded conditions inside. Mattresses spread on the ground. Authorities now investigating 6 deaths at that warehouse facility. President Biden surveyed the damage in Louisiana on Friday and promised every community affected by the storm would get the needed resources to rebuild.
I told the governor that he has my full support, and I mean it sincerely, he has my full support to get this project done.
On Tuesday, he will travel to hard-hit areas of New Jersey and New York, including New York City, where 13 people lost their lives, 11 of whom were trapped in lower-level apartments. The city's Department of Buildings now investigating living conditions after the fatalities. In a statement, DOB confirming 5 of the 6 properties where New Yorkers tragically lost their lives during the floods were illegally converted cellar and basement apartments. The city's mayor announcing a new weather response task force and measures to avoid future devastation, including travel bans, door-to-door warnings, and basement evacuations. In Philadelphia, parts of Interstate 676 have reopened, but crews are still at work clearing the floodwater and debris from other parts of the roadway. Alex Brachet, ABC News, Washington.
Such a dangerous and deadly storm, Katie. We're now finally getting a chance to catch our breath, so when it comes to the tropics.
Yes, thankfully so. There is a strong hurricane, but it's out in the middle of the Atlantic. That is Hurricane Larry, and that's one of the tropical systems that the National Hurricane Center is keeping a close eye on. Here's the very latest on Larry. It is way out there, but it's got a really great organization. This is a strong hurricane, currently a Category 3 hurricane that's projected to continue to move northwest. The forecast cone over the next 5 days does take this system close to Bermuda, but at this time through Thursday of next week, it does look like that will be just east of Bermuda. So something for those with interests around Bermuda to watch, but no threat to the U.S. coastline from Hurricane Larry. There's also another disturbance. This is basically an unorganized area of cloud cover and rain that's down, kind of sitting right over the Yucatan Peninsula, just off to the west of Cancun. National Hurricane Center says over the next 5 days, this has about a 30% chance of becoming at least our next tropical depression. And whether this organizes into a tropical depression, tropical storm or not, it's projected to drift due north into the central Gulf. That does take it potentially close to the middle Gulf Coast, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, even the Florida Panhandle. And it does look like this could bring some rain to the central portion of the Gulf over the next 5 days. But you'll notice that's well east of the Texas coastline, and our rainfall potential over the next 5 days, really nothing to write home about. We've got a couple of specks here of that green color indicating a quarter to a half inch of rain for some people, certainly not for everyone. So here in the short term, our weather pattern, especially as far as any rain making energy goes, is going to be pretty quiet. We're going to get a little boost, a little piece of rain making energy moving in Monday, so Labor Day. There's going to be a weak frontal boundary dropping down into Texas, and that will help to provide some lift for us, but it's likely just going to result in some isolated rain. After that, another ridge of high pressure through the middle back half of next week starts to build back in. That will cut off any chance of rain, but it does look like this ridge of high pressure will help to bring in some drier air for us for several days next week. It's certainly not going to be maybe feeling crisp and fall-like, but we will have a few days next week with some lower humidity, so that's pretty good. But as far as rain chances go, Most of us will have to cash in with that isolated chance of rain Monday on Labor Day, and I have that futurecast for you coming up shortly. Currently at the airport, 86 degrees. It is warm out there. Thankfully, our dew points haven't jumped back into the 70s quite yet, so it's not overly humid. It really doesn't feel too bad. South-southeast winds are around 5 to 15 miles per hour. Still 90 in Carrizo Springs, low to mid 90s out in Valverde County at this hour. Our dew points did drop off a good bit this afternoon, so that humidity wasn't too oppressive, but of course our air temperatures were still in the upper 90s, so it was plenty hot. These dew point numbers will jump back into the low 70s through early tomorrow morning. Winds again about 5 to 15 miles per hour, calm from Kerrville up to Fredericksburg, and overall we will see light winds settle in overnight. Wind speeds will drop down to just about 2 to 5 miles per hour. So temperature wise tomorrow morning, starting you off mid to upper 70s for a lot of us. In and around San Antonio, Bexar County, up in the hill country, a few hours of some morning clouds will be possible, and then mostly sunny tomorrow afternoon and another hot day. Those of you in the hill country will carry a chance of some isolated thunder showers tomorrow afternoon because of that weak front that will start to move into central Texas tomorrow. But again, it'll be Monday, especially Monday afternoon, that as that front sags farther south, we'll see some isolated storms develop across more of the area on Monday. Again, overall coverage of any rain on going to be very slim. Nonetheless, if you've got outdoor plans on Monday, just keep that KSAT weather app handy. Before I leave you, I mentioned that lower humidity. We'll see our dew points likely by the middle back half of next week drop into the 50s. Now it's still going to be hot, but it won't be quite so humid, and that's a nice gift this time of year, guys.
All right, Katie, thanks so much. That Weather Authority app, very handy for this holiday.
All right, Larry, the Sarkeesian era officially underway in Austin, and it begins with a win.
As is the Hudson Card era up in Austin with the Texas Longhorns. Many wondered if he was the right young man to start at quarterback, and he certainly answered the call today with 3 total touchdowns. We got those highlights coming up. Plus, in big game coverage, we have the Johnson Jaguars taking on the O'Connor Panthers as part of our highlights tonight coming up. Texas head football coach Steve Sarkisian made his Longhorns regular season debut today with number 21 Texas hosting number 23 Louisiana. First quarter, Horns down 3-0 when redshirt freshman Hudson Card throws to a wide open Bijan Robinson, 18 yards, and it is 10-0 Texas, the first career TD pass for Card. Now that drive was kept alive by Card, who picked up 6 yards on 4th down and 5 plays earlier. Late second quarter now, same score. Card finds Cade Brewer for a touchdown, and Texas leads 14-3. Hudson went 12 for 18 for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. Texas led 14-6 at halftime. Third quarter, opening drive, Horns in a no-huddle offense. Hudson Card throws to Jordan Whittington. He spins inside, and the Cuero Gobbler, great, fights his way down to the 12-yard line. And I'm telling you, the Horns really need him to stay healthy. 2 plays later, handoff goes to Bijan, and he does the rest. 7 yards, and Texas leads 21-6. Later in the third quarter, Hudson will call his own number, and he breaks off a 3-yard touchdown, and the Horns are cruising 28-12. Enter QB number 2, Casey Thompson. He tossed a 14-yard touchdown pass to Whittington in the fourth, and Texas wins 38-18. Coach Sark wins his Horns debut.
I like the efficiency of what we did. I think Bijan did a great job setting the tone. And then obviously Jordan Whittington, third down, making plays for us. And both Hudson and Casey were really efficient, both extended drives, and both made their plays when they had their opportunities. But I thought, in the end, it was, controlling the ball, controlling the line of scrimmage.
Texas will play at Arkansas Saturday, September 11th at 6 p.m. The Razorbacks beat Rice today 38-17. In other Big 12 finals, you have Baylor beating Texas State 29-20. Iowa State over Northern Iowa 16-10. Then you also have, in some other scores for the Big 12, Texas Tech beating Houston 38-21. And how about Oklahoma State over Missouri State 23-15. And in 2 more scores, you have TCU over Duquesne 45-3 and Oklahoma edging out Tulane 40-35. We kick off big game coverage with number 6 and 12's top 12, the Johnson Jaguars facing the O'Connor Panthers at Hero Stadium, courtesy of Texas Sports Productions. Jaguars open the scoring in the first quarter. Cruz Kerwin hits Cannon fairly in stride over the middle for the 13-yard touchdown and 7-0 lead. Panthers get right back in it on the ensuing drive. John Locke pitches it to Miles Boussanet, and he's got a seam for the 16-yard score. That ties the game at 7, but the Jaguars offense comes alive in the second quarter. Kerwin to Eladio Gonzalez absorbs a hit, rumbles in for the 17-yard touchdown, and the Jaguars win 51-20. Here come the Taft Raiders, ready to take on Veterans Memorial at Ferris Stadium. Patriots get on the board first. Quarterback Alex Alva dumps it off to Weston Ross, who races along the sideline and cuts back against the grain to score a 46-yard touchdown. 7-0 Veterans Memorial. Raiders answer right back. Justice Hurt lobs one up to wide open Jamel Criswell for the 13-yard touchdown to tie it at 7. And number 10 Taft goes on to win 42-35. The Gus is rocking tonight. Holmes taking on San Marcos. First quarter, Huskies trailing 7-0. Quarterback Christopher Medeles takes off on the delayed keeper, weaving his way upfield into daylight, and he's gone for the 48-yard touchdown, and we are tied at 7. Second quarter, Rattlers answer back. Isaiah De Leon slings the Jake Rodriguez-Scholes in the end zone. 10-yard score puts San Marcos back up 14-7. Very next drive, Huskies strike again, and again it's Medeles taking it himself for the 6-yard touchdown run. That ties it up at 14-all. Let's head to the big game coverage scoreboard for that final. And in a close one, look at that. Holmes edges out San Marcos 35-34. DeHennis wins in a shutout 14-0 against John Paul II. And Kennedy, big-time shutout against Progresso 47-0. And UTSA football kicked off at Illinois today. We got that later in sports. And guys, it went down to the very last play.
It was a good one.
It was.
Thank you, Larry.
Stay with us. We'll be back after the break.
We want to begin this half hour with an update to that late-breaking news we first told you about at the top of this newscast. San Antonio police saying the man who was killed in the 8600 block of Starcrest Drive in a shooting just north of Loop 410 was allegedly attempting to rob a couple tonight.
Yeah, officers say there was some type of scuffle between the three people before the suspect was shot and killed. We'll be sure to keep you updated with more details as they become available online at KSAT.com.
Meanwhile, on this holiday weekend, health officials are advising anyone who is not fully vaccinated to avoid travel.
That recommendation coming as the country is seeing 1,000 deaths a day from COVID-19. Here's ABC's Trevor Alt with the details.
With millions of Americans expected to travel this Labor Day weekend, health officials are urging anyone who's unvaccinated to stay home.
If you are unvaccinated, we would recommend not traveling.
According to a recent CDC report, the unvaccinated are 5 times more likely to get COVID and 29 times more likely to be hospitalized. In 7 states, ICU capacity is above 90%. More than 1,000 Americans dying from COVID every day. Pediatric hospitalizations are at the highest point since the pandemic began. At Wolfson Children's Hospital in Jacksonville, Florida, this week 2 children died in a single 24-hour period.
How many children dying is too many? Social distancing, disinfection, mask wearing, that's a small price to pay.
Meanwhile, President Biden's plan to start delivering booster shots to Americans by September 20th could be delayed. The New York Times reports health officials are advising the White House scale back that plan for now because they need more time to collect and review the necessary data. Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson say they've submitted all of their booster data for evaluation from the FDA, though the agency's independent advisory board isn't set to take up the booster issue until September 17th. And one key member of the advisory panel has said there's no compelling reason yet to get a third dose.
All the data shows that if you've gotten 2 doses, you are protected against serious illness. I think people need to be reassured about that.
The CDC and the FDA have said they may be able to determine in the coming weeks whether to recommend boosters for all Americans. So far, only the immunocompromised are recommended for boosters, and for now, only recipients of the Pfizer vaccine. Trevor Alt, ABC News, New York.
Happening around America, 5 U.S. Navy sailors have been declared dead after a helicopter crash off the coast of San Diego. According to a release from the 3rd Fleet, the helicopter crashed about 60 miles off the coast during a routine flight operation on Tuesday. One crew member survived the crash and was rescued. The Navy will not release the names of the 5 sailors until 24 hours after the notification of the next of kin. The Navy says the incident is under investigation.
Looking ahead, President Joe Biden and the First Lady will mark the 20th anniversary of September 11th by traveling to all 3 sites of the terror attacks. The President and First Lady Jill Biden will join former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama at the 9/11 Memorial in New York City. They will also then travel to United 93 crash site in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Former President George W. Bush will provide keynote remarks there as well. Vice President Kamala Harris and Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff will also be in Shanksville and will then travel with the Bidens to the Pentagon. Still to come, we'll take you into the KSAT Explains breakdown booth and get a close look at why the team took on the topic of homeless encampments. That's next on the Nightbeat. A brand new episode of KSAT Explains is out now, and this week the team tackled the growing debate over how to compassionately handle homeless encampments.
Yes, today executive producer Brina Monterosa tells us why the KSAT Explains team chose to take a close look at this topic.
I really learned a lot about homelessness and encampments working on this episode. I came in thinking, organizations, the city, we can do this one thing and change and improve the lives of everyone. But honestly, it starts when you're born. It starts where, whether you were born in poverty, what resources are available to you when you're in school about mental health. And that continues over time. Meeting these people who live on the street, I realized the challenges that they're dealing with. Mental illness, untreated mental illness at times, not having the resources or knowledge about what resources are available to them if they do want to get off the street. So that's why the outreach workers are a crucial part of solving homelessness. What I admire the most were these outreach workers, were the homeless providers who are working on this day in, day out, every single minute of the day to try to find help for these people who want the help. I'm astonished at how they're not defeated by this every single day. They said the small wins is what keeps them going. Another big takeaway was the misconception that people have about people who live on the street or unsheltered homeless. It can be anyone. I met a couple, Rhonda and Felix, who a few months before were living, not in the greatest conditions, but at least had a place to call home. And now they're on the street trying to figure out what to do next. So things can change in a heartbeat, and what I don't think people realize is that could be any one of us. And I learned to have more compassion and to get involved. And so if this is something that moves you, if you see this story and you say, wow, I didn't know this was happening in my city, I would encourage you to get involved.
That's great advice right there. Now, we have more information about the organizations you can get involved with by donating either your time or money on our website.
All you need to do is just click on this article for this episode at ksat.com/explains. That is also where you can watch the full show.
Another look outside with live cam tonight. It's been a pretty comfortable evening. Once we got that sun to set and temperatures fell out of the 90s, it really hasn't felt too bad out there. We've also got a decent breeze at this hour. In case you missed it earlier in the week, for sauce customers, stage 1 watering restrictions are back in effect. Remember, this goes by day of the week, Monday through Friday, depending on what number your address ends in. If you want to take a closer look at this, save it to your phone maybe or your laptop. It's available for you to see on KSAT.com. Speaking of watering, if yard work is in your forecast for tomorrow, it's going to be another hot day. We'll start off mid to upper 70s briefly early in the morning. By 9 a.m. we'll be in the low 80s and then back into the upper 90s tomorrow afternoon. Here in San Antonio, we will pick up a very low chance of a stray shower early tomorrow evening. A better chance of rain, though, tomorrow afternoon in the Hill Country. We'll take another look at that forecast coming up shortly.
Taking a look at weather, it was a hot day today, and it seems like the heat is going to continue to stretch across the next couple of days, huh, Katie?
Yeah, summer's going to get its due. You guys maybe noticed that it looked a little hazy at times today. I really noticed it as I hit one of the big flyover ramps this afternoon. The horizon just wasn't clear. You could see the buildings on the horizon, but it wasn't clear, and our sky wasn't too bright blue. And we do have a little batch of that pesky Saharan dust that has moved in from the south. This is a very, very light concentration of this dust. So thankfully, This won't be so dense that it causes a lot of air quality issues or anything like that. But this will linger tomorrow, even into early next week. So for the next few days, you may notice a hazy look to things. And for some folks, even the light concentrations of this dust can be irritating like an allergen. So if you notice some of those symptoms, that may be why. Some light Saharan dust lingering for the next few days. Thankfully, this is not nearly as dense as some of the batches we've seen previously. So a little bit of good news there. Another look at your day on Sunday. We'll have a brief period of some low clouds tomorrow morning, partly to mostly cloudy early in the day. 76 your morning low, up to 90 by lunchtime, and then I expect we'll jump back into the upper 90s tomorrow afternoon. Just like today, our humidity will fall off a bit in the afternoon, and that could be the nudge to get us up to 99, maybe even 100 degrees tomorrow if we do get up to the triple-digit mark on Sunday afternoon. Even over the next several days, that will be our first triple-digit day here in San Antonio for the year. Rain chances will be best tomorrow up in the hill country, 20% chance for some isolated rain there. Here in San Antonio, we'll carry an even lower chance of a stray lingering shower into the evening hours, and I'll kind of explain why. So now currently satellite and radar is very quiet. Our skies are clear, but as I mentioned, we'll bring back in some low clouds through early tomorrow, but they'll break up quickly and we'll see a lot of sun tomorrow afternoon. Again, as we get into the afternoon hours, late afternoon, early evening, it'll be up in the hill country, essentially from Rock Springs over to Kerrville and then points north, that there could be a couple of isolated showers and non-severe storms. Reason why rain chances will be a bit better there. There will be a front dropping into central Texas tomorrow afternoon, and that will produce some isolated rain, mainly north of Austin, but a couple of spotty storms could work into the hill country. If anything can get going in the hill country tomorrow afternoon, its leftovers could drop down closer to Highway 90 about this time tomorrow night, but it would likely just be a stray shower here or there. So chance of a spotty shower in the hill country tomorrow afternoon. The rest of us really will just be plenty hot. Now Monday, things will change a bit. That same front will slowly sag a bit farther south. It will bring some rain making energy with it. As we heat up Monday afternoon, some more pop-up showers and non-severe storms will be possible across a bigger area, but overall coverage of any rain on Labor Day is going to be on the lower side. Nonetheless, if you've got afternoon, evening plans outside on Monday, just keep in mind that you could run into a pop-up downpour. Keep that KSAT weather app handy and you'll get an alert if any storms get close to your area. Currently, temperature-wise, we're already in the upper 70s in the hill country. Still 90, though, in Carrizo Springs, and at 77 down in Beeville. For now, we've got a decent breeze, but winds really should drop off overnight to just about 5 miles per hour. These dew point numbers will come back up as well, back into the low 70s to start the day, so it'll be very muggy tomorrow morning. But as I mentioned, as we get into the afternoon, those dew points should drop off a bit. Now, the next few days, we won't see a whole lot of change in our dew points, but look what happens middle and back half of next week. We'll have a good batch of some drier air working in, so it won't be quite as humid. Notice our afternoons will still be plenty hot, but our morning lows will start to drop down closer to 70. That's not a whole lot, but that feels real nice. 72 feels a lot better than 78, 79, guys.
Definitely. Okay. Definitely looking forward to those temperatures. All right. Thank you.
Week 1, UTSA Roadrunners kicking things off with a visit to Big Ten country, Larry.
And they were looking for their second Power 5 win ever, their first one coming against the Baylor Bears. Well, today UTSA did it. They got their second Power 5 win, this time against the Fighting Illini of Illinois. We got those highlights coming up. And the Aggies of Texas A&M, their offense struggled big time in the first half, so the defense had to save the day. Coming up.